It is dev stream. Here we are in the dev stream. Let's go ahead and get the system going. Just continuing what I was doing last time. I still haven't had time to do any of this other than, what am I trying to say? I have been, it's a good thing that I've been trying to make these streams a somewhat regular thing, because they're the only time I get to do any dev. Okay, so as I recall, this compiles right now. It'll complain about some circular dependencies, but that is nay a big deal. Look at all those circular dependencies, more than ever. I really don't like circular dependencies, and at one point I went through and got rid of all of them, but they came back. Now, I literally have not run it since getting it to compile, so there is a 0% chance of this working, and I know that I'm missing features. I know that there are features that are supposed to be there that are not going to work at all. So don't don't get your hopes up. Cool. Well, don't get your hopes up if your hopes for some reason were to see it actually work, which wouldn't be much of a dev stream thing anyway. Okay, yes, manifest error, not a problem. Let's see how far we get before it crashes horribly. That far. Oh, I actually have it set to redirect on error. Let's go ahead and get rid of that for a bit. Yes, just not going to do that. I will be able to simplify the makefile too, because the previous worker I had, which for historical reasons was named AWP, but wasn't even an audio worklet processor anymore, I don't need that worker at all now, because I have the real workers. Message port at index 1 is a duplicate of an earlier port. How did I botch that? So input processors are in it, which obviously is going to be called from the constructor. No, it's oh wait, that's input audio capture. Yes, it's called from the constructor. No two of those should be the same. Message port at index 1 is a duplicate of an earlier port, so render input is a duplicate. How'd I botch that? How did I botch? Oh. Quite easily is how I botched that. Yowza. Boy, it's a good thing that I got that error, because if it did allow that, if the transferable was allowed because I'm transferring them to the same place, uh, that would have been friggin' impossible to diagnose. I would have it would have taken for a that like it would have taken an absolute age to understand what was happening there. Underscore underscore file name is not defined. Let's see if I can somehow guess which one this is. This one has the libav loading in it. All of them use it. Neat. In each case, I'm setting it, but I guess it doesn't like you setting globals that way in modern JavaScript. That's not that's no longer considered acceptable. At object.init. So the encoder uses file name during init. This is not directly in init, it is indirectly in init. And same here. Yeah, so that is actually the encoder that's causing the complaint. Guess that's not too surprising. I mean, I suppose nowadays you just do global this. It's definitely not going to allow me to do just that, so I'll do this. Actually, there we go. A bit incredibly ugly, but it'll do. And I can do something similar in every other case. I only need to do this for the first one. In fact, what I can do to make this a little bit less horrendous, this is just difficulties in loading a loading using import scripts. Import scripts doesn't really tell the script where it's loading from, and so mscripten has this hack to let you do it. Oops, that's not right. There we go. I will just stick this with each of my declarations so that I will know that it is in fact declared. And look at it automatically figuring out that it needs to rebuild the workers before it can rebuild the code that uses the workers. That's why you use makefiles. Remember that only the waveform worker has been tested. All of the other workers are completely going in blind. I had to build them all at once because they were all previously the same worker, and so they were not easily sort of disentangled. Script at... Oh. Oh, I didn't think about that. No, that shouldn't be the issue. How did it fail to get the dir name correctly? Because that's just like the full path. Dir name. Yeah, I replace slash and then any number of things that aren't a slash up until the end of the string with nothing, just in the path name. Did I pass the wrong base URL somewhere? Ugh. URL dir name, URL dir name, URL dir name, URL dir name, all URL dir name. Did I somehow do this wrong? Does this not do what I think it does? Oh, wait. Of course. Dot, I need both the query, which isn't called the query. I need the hash, oh, and the search, fine. Let me just look up URL and make sure that I remember what I'm doing. Because the problem is that it did actually get the dir name, but then it's adding a bunch of crap. Yeah, see, there's the dir name, and then it's adding the extra crap at the end of it. So that was my misremembering how URLs, or how the URL object works. None of that is part of the path name. So, yes, the hash, host is fine, host name is fine. The path name is what we did. Or right, search. So just the hash and the search. There we go. Meanwhile, just for giggles, I have rendering in the background what I'm calling sigmoid fast forwarding. I just want to see if it's a good idea to take a stream and anywhere where there was silence, rather than cutting out the section or just linearly fast forwarding the section, doing a sigmoid fast forward. Just because I can. Actually, just wanted to, no, none of these things. Nope, none of these things. Is that not the right address? That should be the right address. Yeah, there it is. I'm confident that I checked that it's allowed to load from that URL. Even though this is a data URL that the script is running on, I'm confident that I checked that it is allowed to do it because it's a data URL loaded from the correct host. So I don't know what's happening. This, of course, is... Oh. So one of them... Huh? I'm unsure how I managed to get this URL wrong, but at the same time, this URL isn't wrong, and yet it's not working. Failed to load. I'm being disallowed from importing anything. I swear I tested this. I definitely tested this. I should be allowed to load. I had to use the exact path because this is a data URL, but it's a data URL loaded from the correct domain. I need to look up import scripts. This doesn't look like a MIME type issue. And there's nothing specified here that would suggest why it's refusing. Why is Dino listed here? Isn't Dino just like Node? It's not a browser. I need to think carefully about what's happening here. But it's not a DOM exception. It's a network error. Okay, gross. But not that big of a problem. I guess I should really be looking for import scripts. There we go. I guess that's the only script being imported here. Well, I know I'm going to need to global this dot on that because I already said it. Oh, I opened every file instead of just the workers. Oh well. Favorite. It uses opt.base URL. That's why I put it there. Scheiße. The URL that the worker was loaded from is a data URL. I want to bundle the worker in. I don't want it not to be a data URL. I mean, it is a data URL, so I could inject the base URL directly in. Yeah, screw it. I can inject the base URL directly in. Why not? Damn. Yeah, I have to load Vosk itself whether I'm going to use it or not. That's unfortunate because Vosk is kind of big. Yep. Kind of big indeed. Dang, how are you ever supposed to make it optional if it works that way now? Is it just like a... How was this ever working before? I guess... Yeah, it would have all been effectively in the install handler. And in fact, I can still do that. It's just going to be a little bit wackadoo. Nope, 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 nope. In proc, out proc. In proc is the one that loads, yeah, all sorts of things, so including transcription. So let's just go ahead and give myself a bit more space here. Replace base URL with config.urldirname.toString, and I put a comma there, and I didn't close this function, and replace use transcription, transcription. We yeah, forgot to do that. Yeah, I will fix the rest of the remaining base URL unnecessary nonsense later. Not much later, certainly today, but, well, I say certainly, depends on how many other bugs I need to get past, but if this one is relatively forthcoming, then I will fix that immediately next. Yes. Well, that didn't work. At base URL at. Oh, of course. Wait. I meant %40, base URL %40. Wait, shit. And okay, no. I need to think this through. I'm no longer going to put the data URL part here. I'm going to do that elsewhere. So all I need is JSON stringify of the input. This is a hard type to write. We want pairs of regexp and string, and that is an array. Okay. And I will simply have the encode URI component happen here, which will make the code smaller anyway, rather than happening there. And in audio and in proc and out proc. Am I 100% confident in that? No. Am I somewhat confident in that? Sure. How interesting that the worker cannot import scripts late. I find that vaguely fascinating. And it means I just sort of accidentally got it right before. Let's see. Oh, I know what happened. Yeah, I had not convinced it to rebuild those. Easiest way to convince it to rebuild those will just be to touch those files. It will, of course, remake the workers itself, and then that will make it remake the JavaScript. There we go. These are the steps that it had skipped, because there was no way for it to know. It does not check whether this has changed, it only checks whether this has changed. And this just depends on these, which had not changed. Classic dependency issues. Well, I'm annoyed. Oh, no. Okay, this is still expected because, oh, but here it is. This one is real. This works. I tested a data URL loading an absolute URL from the same place that the data URL was loaded, and that worked. Oh, but I didn't have cores on that system. Ugh. What if because of cores I'm more restricted here? Oh dear. Let us suppose that cores is preventing us from loading scripts. If that's the case, then I must go back to the old style. Then, like, there was good reason to have the workers work how they did. Can I verify that this is a cores issue? I mean, surely if this doesn't verify that this is a cores issue, I don't know what it possibly would. So this is a single global function that's run eagerly. Yeah. Does... what? This feels off. No, I guess that's right. It's a little bit hard to tell that this is at the global scope because, of course, this code is minified. But let's do this. That indentation helped literally zero. Well, actually, it was correct. Yeah, this is all inside of this function. So we have this class, this function, that constant. Yeah, I think this is at the global scope. And the file definitely exists. Well, global. It's as global as it can get right now. But that's exactly how it would have worked in the previous one as well. So I think that as much as I like the idea of loading these in as much as I like the thought of loading these in the data URLs so that I can bundle everything together, I don't think that flies. I don't think it's possible. Just trying to think of a way to make this a little bit less ugly in the actual install. I can install it to libs, even though it's, my own library, not an external library. Nobody ever said libs means external libraries. It just means libraries. So I will stick my own libraries there. Nope. EC encoder worker.js, EC inproc worker.js, EC outproc worker.js, EC waveform worker.js. Do I want to somehow combine these after doing all the work to uncombine these? For the time being, I'm going to say no. I feel like it's simply not a good idea, even though that means more files. So now, let's see, worker.js, or just js.ts. This can go away, and, yes, slash you know what, yeah, I'm going to leave it like this. A little bit ugly on this line, but fine. And of course, everywhere where I use them, I now have to change it to use the new one. I want to change the base URLs again. Outpro. Oh, and I can remove util.js data URL, of course. So EC encoder worker.js. EC inproc worker.js. EC outproc worker.js. Slash EC waveform worker.js. no longer need the per se base URL. Wait, wait, yeah, this is nonsense. Let me string interpolate a single string into a string. Now, yeah, I have dot slash libs, which, that's where I am. Okay. I'm approaching every change with complete confidence because I am an idiot. Oh, that's interesting. How did I ever... Because I only could have possibly imported scripts upon receiving a message. I think that the advice I got from that Stack Overflow or whatever it was just flatly incorrect. I think that you're totally allowed to import scripts wherever. And so, in the interest of not driving myself madness, because all of these I always have to load, so I may as well load them immediately. Ah, interesting. The libav path, because I'm using that in both. They're sort of different relative directories, so I actually do need // the libav path in every case where I used libav. Oh, interesting. The in-processing worker doesn't use libav at all. Maybe not too shocking, but a little bit surprising to me. I don't know why I've insistently decided on really one file at a time making here and not doing make-j anything. I guess my virtual machine is definitely, like this testing virtual machine is total crap, so I don't expect it to be any good. I changed it not to use those, but I didn't actually remove the references. The imports, that is. If this doesn't let it at least load, I mean, I don't know if it'll work, but if it doesn't let it load, I'm going to be a little bit confused. Good, the workers are there. The encoder worker sort of got its path confused midway. But that was the whole reason I set __ file name. If setting __ file name somehow doesn't work, then don't know why this is still global this dot __ file name. I mean, there's a 0% chance that that was the problem, but let me just to get it out of the way, I want to check that. Make sure that I have, yes, cache disabled. What's interesting, like, look, I'm getting the waveform. It's showing as black because the audio encoding isn't working. So that means at least the input processing is working. And so all the input processing libraries loaded fine. Let me remind myself how to load my own library that I wrote myself. Yeah, okay. I mean, I say if it's not detecting it right, set it. So I'll set it. Pretty obvious libav-dir, but may as well make it configurable. Input processing doesn't use libav. Libav is one of the most complicated libraries to load because it just has so many components. So it's not too surprising that something would have gotten botched up. Oh yeah. Okay. This will have to rebuild, yes, both, because I changed an interface, even though I didn't happen to change it in a way that mattered for the main Ennuicastr. Now this right here is worst case scenario stuff. Oh, you know what? I'll bet that audio encoding is functioning, and the part of audio encoding that is not functioning is the echo cancellation. But this is very picky that you really need both the channels, both the echo canceled and unecho canceled channels to be coming through for it to count it. And we know that input processing is working because figuring out the maxes is part of input processing. I guess we don't know that output processing is working, but that's easy enough to test. I can just connect another one. Oh wait, no, it mutes you when you're when encoding isn't working. There's also no reason that I need to test these in some bizarre specific order. So let's try to gauge what's wrong with the encoder. Let's check whether I was right about that. Is that not in source audio? I guess it's in input processing. How interesting. Oh, it's last sent time. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So, to cheat, let's just temporarily have that there and see if I am getting the no echo cancel data through the workers. If I am, then thank God for types, because it's only because I have types everywhere that anything is going anywhere. I was expecting to suffer a lot more getting this up and running, but as far as I can tell, the input processor, I literally, other than the library fix-ups that I had to do for everything, once I got it loading the libraries correctly, it just works, which I genuinely was just not expecting that at all. Oh my goodness, that was indeed it. Yeah, no more complaints about audio encoding. Okay. And I knew that I hadn't connected up the echo canceled track. I knew that that was an issue that I still needed to deal with. So, in the last couple minutes here, how did I deal with the echo canceled track here? Problem is there's two directions of connection. I think I connected the rendered track in, but I did not connect the echo canceled track back out. I think probably at this level it's doing the right thing. So let's see, I should probably have an EC output. Yeah, EC out handler. Yes, it creates it. And yeah, then if there is an output handler, then it sends it. So let's just make sure that EC output is set. Yep. Okay. I don't really remember how it worked before, so I'm doing a quick Easter egg hunt for what was happening in the earlier version. Oh, dang. It considered that a complete change, which I guess makes sense because I renamed it. Well, scheisse. I guess I'll just have to look at the old version. Let's just see if I can look for EC. It's a bit short, so it'll match other things, but not really sure what else to search for right now. I see. So I have to wait for the encoder to be ready. I might just copy out all of this, complete with the minuses, and paste that somewhere for my own reference. I feel like I can now confidently remove this because it was in fact working. Okay, this is all correct. Yeah, so I connected the rendered output even using the same code. Yeah, but I never connected up that because I need it to go through the worker and everything. So that would need to be after all of these callbacks. Make sure I'm still calling it that. Yep, don't know why I wouldn't. Okay, so we wait until there's actually an encoder. And now, let me think. I have a port in worker.ec output port. Odd deal, apparently. Audio.inputs idx.usermedia encoder. Okay, I set that up with init, but it's better if I can send the port later. So I'm going to imagine the functionality to do that. And then implement it. So this is worker.ec output port. So I need an encoder. How interesting. It's none of the options at all. Didn't the encoder have something to know? Wait, the encoder, it's an input. Okay, I'm thinking backwards. Oh, of course. It's just encode. You just call encode. Because I'm really brilliant and did this like a really generic, generalizable way. I did it so much better than I thought I did it. Set. So I don't need a separate EC port. I just call encode. You get that port. And the echo canceled channel just has the top bit set to indicate that it's echo canceled. And that should do it. I will make this the last test of the day, and then maybe I'll commit these changes since they've been quite monumental. I just want to see if it loads everything. Can I find name res? What did I call it? New promise P. No. Res, thank you. How we doing? Like, real bad. What's happening? Oh, wait, I know what's happening. Yeah. that recording expired. Neat. Piffle, Poffle, Poofle, Path. That, as far as I know, should have worked. Oops, in proc. I wonder if it's possible that I'm not sending back the encoded data with the correct track number. I guess I should probably do, since I'm not awaiting this. In fact, since I'm not awaiting anything... Oh, wait, yes I am. I'm awaiting this. Never mind. That's why I put it in the separate async. I wonder... When do I actually call... dot encode from here? Yeah, I do await it here. And I only dispatch this event once I've awaited it. Let me make sure I haven't just misremembered something stupid. Maybe I'll export that so I can use it as a constant. Oh yeah, I was like, how does it know that it's the easy track then? Duh, because it says so. I get the feeling that I must have somehow sent it back without the track set or something. Because, well, either that or the data is just not going through at all. I guess I never considered the possibility that I'm just not outputting echo cancel data due to something going hideously awry. In proc. Let's not have this be a magic. Not have this be a magic number. Well, that's easy to check for. EC out. I said 10 minutes ago that that was the last thing I was going to be testing, but that's because I expected it to work. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da. Ya-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. It's unfortunate that how rollup works, it's always going to rebuild all of the workers instead of just the one you actually changed, but I don't know of any way to make rollup sort of dependency sensitive in the way it would need to. It's sending EC buffs. So that suggests that the problem might be on the other side. Ya da da. Ya da da. Da 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 da. Da. Da 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 da. Okay, the track no is track no. So assuming I didn't make some real boneheaded error transmitting it through. If we get to both of these and it's still not working, then I have no idea where the issue is, but it's very mysterious. Okay, so it didn't get to there. So somewhere betwixt sending the echo cancelled data and receiving it. Probably something about transferring the port over for encoding or something like that. Maybe it like had already requested buffers and never heard anything back, or it should only, well, okay. I'll need to think about this next time. Oh well. Stream over.